Welcome to the Game Theory and Strategy Lab on the Tulane SCS-03 island on the Moses Metaverse Grid. The learner-tested research findings display in the center of the Game Theory Lab includes student rankings of a variety of different virtual world simulations. Each simulation was ranked on interactivity, engagement, and contribution to course learning outcomes. All of these findings are detailed in the student survey data section of the accompanying website. Right now, I want to point out the dark horse or unexpectedly popular simulations. As dark horse simulations, students ranked the resource builds, the slideshows and vocabulary flashcards, the builds that involve inspiring life stories from relevant historical figures, and the builds they can easily relate to, like the gender dynamics in the workplace, unexpectedly high in all categories. In turn, it was the unexpected findings that the dark horse simulations made such a significant contribution to both engagement and increased learning outcomes that led to the creation of a layered virtual world simulation. Moving on to the Prisoner's Dilemma layered virtual world simulation prototype, the first interactive feature is a game sketch note card giver. When the game icon is touched, a note card pops open on the screen. Also, additional information on the nature of the game and the alternative game outcome or payoff matrix are located in nearby displays. Next, when two or more students are in-world, playing the Prisoner's Dilemma game is facilitated by a scripted decision or preference device. With pairs of students sequestered in separate jail cells, each will signal their preference for confessing or keeping quiet by clicking on the button in front of them and selecting yes to confess or no to keep quiet, or reset to play the game once again. The results of the Prisoner's Dilemma selection are visible on the two devices located in the interrogation room between the two cells. Moving on to the additional resources and learning activities in this layered learning prototype, several slideshow viewers are located on the defense side of the moot courtroom. Also, relevant vocabulary flashcards are set up on the prosecution side of the moot courtroom. Links to biographical information on John Nash, a Nobel Prize-winning pioneer in game theory who contributed the Nash equilibrium, and a trailer from a recent biographical movie featuring the early life of John Nash.
John Nash was one of the most brilliant minds of his generation. Welcome to Princeton.
Are both located in the witness box section of the moot court. A self-test application of the Prisoner's Dilemma dominant strategy concept is located in the Judge's Bench section. The self-test includes three components: the game sketch, the self-test questions, and the answers to the self-test. Finally, the Leave a Bot Behind Communications Center for each student is located in the jury box section of the moot court. Each student-specific bot has a note card giver to detail the student owner's views and a mailbox to receive note cards back from other students and the instructor. With the Prisoner's Dilemma layered prototype, a complete learning exercise simulation to introduce game theory to students, additional game theory simulations are easily staged in a 3D virtual world platform. That is, while the Prisoner's Dilemma illustrated a dominant strategy game, the Snowdrift game, now in focus on your screen, and the Chicken game, located to the right of the Snowdrift game in the lab, represent non-dominant strategy games. Further, as another interactive learning activity, the Working Chicken game is available just outside the Game Theory Lab. In pairs of 2, students touch one of the cars and select Ride and use the movement arrow keys on their keyboard to begin the game. Also, to play the game again, or to position the car for a new set of players, after one turn is over, a player touches the rizzing device arrow and selects Clean to remove the previously used car, and then Build to position a new car. We are now back inside the lab to tour the different breakout areas and tutorial displays. There is an Economics of Cooperation discussion breakout area, complete with individual 3D models to examine the profit motive for non-cooperation. There is a tit-for-tat mixed strategy breakout discussion area to explore the mathematically sound principles outlined in Robert Axelrod's Effective Choice in the Prisoner's Dilemma. In addition, there are matrix concepts and probabilities concepts review displays located on the 3rd floor of the Game Theory Lab. Finally, in keeping with the Moses military theme of this grid, 2 examples of military-related game strategy were included in the lab. The first themed game is entitled Guerrillas vs. Police, and the second is entitled Colonel Blotto. The Colonel Blotto game is circa 1949 or post-World War II and provides a terrific comparison of pure and mixed game strategy. To sum up, again, the rationale behind the layered virtual world simulations includes student preferences for both real-time and asynchronous learning activities, and the rather startling finding that simulations like vocabulary flashcards and slideshows, originally conceived of as filler in the different topical simulations, are highly rated as interactive, engaging, and useful. Also, the layered approach to learning simulations enables the achievement of efficiencies in instruction by providing asynchronous learning activities on a 24/7 basis. Further, offering asynchronous learning activities supports both academically strong and academically weak students. That is, academically strong students can take advantage of additional enrichment activities, while academically weak students can spend longer periods of time on the available simulations and activities. Finally, student survey findings support the continued exploration of the best uses of virtual world learning simulations. Virtual world learning simulations were rated as more engaging than traditional online learning activities and classroom activities. Also, looking at the correlation between engagement and increased learning outcomes, virtual world learning activities received the highest correlation score. Thank you for watching.